In Season 5, we got introduced to the 16 realms, and ever since then, I am sure you have wondered, what were they? Sure, in Season 5, we knew that Ninjago and the Underworld were realms, and we also got introduced to the Cloud Kingdom, and we even found out that Chima was a part of the realms as well, even though it isn't a realm itself, as we learnt in Dragon's Rising Season 2. And speaking of Dragon's Rising, after the merge, we have seen a few more realms pop up, and have also learnt quite a bit about them. So without further ado, let's look at all of the 16 realms. Starting off with Ninjago, the first realm that we were introduced to. So, as we know, the first Fujitsu master created Ninjago using his powers of creation, and we also know that during a fight with the Overlord, the first Fujitsu master split Ninjago into two, being the mainland and the Dark Island. And we will start off with the mainland since we know a bit more about it. Starting in Ninjago City, which we don't even know if that exists anymore post-merge, but pre-merge, it was almost always getting attacked from whether it be the Overlord or snakes. And moving on to the Wailing Alps, which have only appeared in one episode in Season 5, where the ninja were climbing to get to the Blind Man's Eye, and you can pretty much think of it as Ninjago's Mount Everest. We also have the City of Styx, which is a city built on sticks, as the name suggests, and it is also built on top of water and is home to characters such as Rodin. There's also Primeval's Eye, which is basically just a huge jungle, and it also houses the Oni Temple, which used to have the Mask of Vengeance inside of it. But if we move off the main island, there are a couple of other smaller islands that we know of. First being the lighthouse that Dr. Julian used to live in. The second is Tiger Widow Island, which has a massive spider in it with venom that can slow down a djinn. And finally the Uncharted Island from the island, which is home to these dumb purple people. And now onto the Dark Island, and there's really only one landmark there worth talking about, and that is obviously the Temple of Light. And other than that, it is pretty deserted from what we see in Season 2. Alright, so now that Ninjago is out of the way, the rest of the realms won't have anywhere near as much information to talk about, especially the Underworld, which is our next realm. So the Underworld is the home of the Skulkin, and the resting place for disgraced warriors according to the Ninjago wiki. Some of the most famous characters who have lived in the Underworld are Samukai and Garmadon, who was banished there by Wu, and also Klaus, who became the Underworld King. But we don't know if that is canon or not, because it happened in the book series The Dark Island Trilogy. A similar realm to the Underworld is the Kingdom of Madness. The Kingdom of Madness is home to the Mountain of Madness, which I assume is the mountain Wu and Garmadon climbed on, and also the Craggling Village that we saw in Dragon's Rising Season 1. And also, thanks to Dragon's Rising, we also know that the Realm of Madness isn't just a bunch of rocks, because they also have the Administration. And all you need to know about them is that they think they have full control of the merged realms, when in reality they are irrelevant and they all have to fill out paperwork before they do literally anything. And probably the most interesting realm of the lot is the Cursed Realm, because the Cursed Realm is located inside of the Preeminent. Other than that, we don't know much about it, other than that it is the home of cursed souls. We also know that Nia destroyed the Cursed Realm in Season 5, and the Ninjago Wiki says the Preeminent and the rest of the inhabitants moved on into the Departed Realm after the destruction of the Cursed Realm. And speaking of the Departed Realm, let's talk about that next. So this realm is where all the souls of anyone from the 16 realms go after they die. But now that it has merged with all of the other realms, it is unknown whether anyone who lived in the Departed Realm before the merge can now just come back to life. And now moving on to one of the better realms that we have a lot of information on is the Cloud Kingdom, which is home to the Cloud Monks who think they can change reality just by writing something down, and also the current Master of Wind, Euphrasia. Before the merge, it was possible to enter the Cloud Kingdom without the Realm Crystal or Traveler's Tea, because you could pass through the Blind Man's Eye to get there. In the Cloud Kingdom, there are a few notable locations, such as the Hall of the Riders of Destiny, which is where all the riders do all their riding. There's also Nimbus's house thing, which does not have the sort of sanctuary in it anymore. And then the Archives room, which has these caterpillar things. And finally an engine room, which controls where the kingdom can move to. Another very interesting realm is the Wilderness, the home of the Legends of Chima characters, the tiger tribe that Raz is a part of, the Lava Tides, and of course formerly Wildfire, who spent most of her childhood there. So in the Wilderness, there is Chima, the same place you saw in the show, which is also home to the furries. There's also the Lava Wastes, which is a desert looking place, and finally the Forest of Spirits, which is just a dark forest. Another one of my favorite realms is Ninjago, which has a very interesting story to it. The only known inhabitants of Ninjago were the Jinn, who are basically Ninjago genies, and their species is endangered at the moment, as the only one left is Arakor, but we will talk about him a bit later. So it is important to know that the Cursed Realm and Ninjago are called sister realms, meaning that when the ninja destroyed the Cursed Realm, it was only a matter of time until the Ninjago got destroyed as well. This then caused Narcon to try and rebuild Ninjago in the sky of Ninjago, but that failed, and that was the last we heard of it until Dragons Rising, where Nia and Sora meet the last remaining Jinn, Arakor, who now wears a necklace around his neck, which has growing Ninjago inside it. Sorry, I don't really know how to explain that, but I'm sure it will be very interesting to see how that turns out. And now for one of the best realms, the first realm, the realm of the Oni and Dragon. The first realm looks like a desert biome from Minecraft, and it is also the realm that the first Bujutsu Master was born in. But how he was born, no one really knows. The realm of the Oni and Dragon used to be home to the Oni, but they are now presumably dead, but they are still home to the dragons and also the ex-dragon hunters. Another very interesting realm is the Netherrealm that appeared in Season 11. From what Wu said, we know that the Netherrealm is the most distant and remote of the realms, and that his father, the first Bujutsu Master, told him to never visit this realm as it was dangerous. And as we also know, in Season 11, Zane became the Ice Emperor and froze the entire realm and put them into an eternal winter, you could say. But if I had to take a guess, the realm isn't completely covered in ice and snow anymore after Zane left. And now we move on to the realms that have been revealed to us in Dragons Rising. The first one being Sora's home, Imperium. Imperium consists of the Kingdom of Imperium, which I assume is this thing, and also the Land of Lost Things, which was once home to the Finders, and is also the place where things have been forgotten have ended up. Now onto the main portion, the Kingdom of Imperium. So we have been told on multiple occasions that Imperium is run on dragon power, and according to the wiki, the dragons once willingly gave up their power to Imperium, but then when Raz came in, he took advantage of the dragons and also captured the source dragon of energy. And now onto the newest realm we have seen, Mysterium. We have seen very little of it so far, but we know that it is a land of magic and it is home to sorceresses such as Gandalaria. Mysterium sounds like such an interesting realm, so I hope to see it more in the future and learn more about it. Finally, we know of the realm of Lee. We haven't seen it before, but Sora mentioned it in the first episode of Dragons Rising very briefly, where she said something about having her eye on some candy mushrooms. And that concludes all of the realms that we know of: Ninjago, the Underworld, the Kingdom of Madness, Cursed Realm, the Cloud Kingdom, the Wilderness, Ninjago, the Departed Realm, the First Realm, the Netherrealm, Imperium, Mysterium, and the Realm of Lee. But that isn't every realm, as there are still 4 more unknown realms, but we still have at least a few more years of Dragons Rising at least, so I am sure we will eventually find out what these realms are. But while you wait for the next season of Dragons Rising, check out my recap/review of Season 2 here. See you later, be Ninja.